afternoon and welcome to America's Home Cooking. I'm sorry I didn't get to you early. I promised you after the other video that shortly afterwards I would be making apricot muffins, but I couldn't. I had to go out and shove them. By the time I came in, I was exhausted and hungry. And then when I came and said, well, I'll do it now, the truck's sanitation pushed it right back onto the porch, the sidewalk, and I had to redo the whole sidewalk again. I just came in. I'm a little winded from it, but that's normal with me when I work, okay? So we're going to be making these apricot muffins, but we're going to use dried apricots, and we're going to use apricot butter as well. So this is going to, and the seasoning we're going to be using is going to be nutmeg. So I'm going to go ahead, grease your muffin tin, and we're going to preheat the oven to 400. Get it ready for us so we can get these done. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So we need 1.5 cups of flour. And we're using all-purpose here. Tennessee, hi Shane. Now, I'm not using whole wheat flour in these because I really want this apricot flavor to really come out and, let's say, hit us, okay? But we're going to be adding wheat germ to it, so we will be getting B vitamins, so we don't have to worry about that. And we need 1/3 cup of bran, wheat bran, preferably for this one. I think the oat would be too strong for this one. All right. So that was 1/4 cup of bran, and we need 1/4 cup. That was 1/3 cup of bran, I'm sorry. And we need 1/4 cup of sugar. So there was a lot of shoveling that I was doing today. Okay, we're using light brown sugar with this one. We need 1/4 cup. Remember, when you measure out light or dark brown sugar, you have to pack it in to make sure you get the right measurements. All right, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of wheat germ in this. And I am making a mess again, just so standard for me. This is where our B vitamins are coming, so we don't have to worry about them, and our trace minerals. Now, I am going to be using nutmeg in this. So I'm thinking we might need 2 teaspoons of this, okay? Well, that's not going to fit in there. So the flavor is going to be nutmeg, 2 teaspoons. We're going to be using dried apricots as well as apricot butter, so that's going to be interesting how this is going to come out. We need 2 teaspoons. I want to sit down so bad my legs are shaking. 2 teaspoons baking powder. Now, if you do not make your baking powder, hi Jesus, you're going to have to use baking soda, which will be 1 teaspoon. If you make your own baking powder, bypass that baking soda. Okay, salt. We need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Since I've been making my baking powder, I don't even bother using baking sodas in any of the recipes so far that I've been making. It seems everybody's coming on. Okay. Hi, Lamb the real key Leah. Well, let's just say Lane. Okay, we'll just stop right there. So I don't go any further. Okay. Now we're going to mix this up. And we're going to start chopping nuts. and apricots in this. So we're going to be double rammied with the apricots on this. That's why I'm using light brown sugar. I just think it'd be much better with the light brown sugar than the dark because there's less molasses in it. You know what? I'm just going to use my hand. I'm better at it. This is how women used to mix things, really. South Florida, Stacy. Thank you, Virginia. Chattanooga. Okay, Olga. Oh, I'm just really tired right now. All right, we need a cup of chopped apricots, okay? And I'm using dried apricots because of the season. And we'll chop some nuts. I'm going to use pecans with this. I debated, did I want walnuts, pecans, pine nut? I couldn't make up my mind. So I just sort of played around with it. Yes, Jesus, I'm cooking. I'm making some muffins for tomorrow morning. Thank you, Olga. So we're going to dice these up and get a cup of them. So I didn't want to add wheat flour mixture with this, so I figured the wheat germ will do a good job for what I'm looking for. So I want this apricot flavor to really come out with the nutmeg and the nuts. And yes, you can make apricot butter. If you wish to know, I will be making it next year again when apricots come in. And I will make a nice big batch, and you can watch and learn how to make your own apricot butter. They say you get apple butter, and everybody sticks with the basics, but sometimes you need to branch off, as they say, and try something new. Now, my father was an adventure on food. These are apricots. Hi, Liliana. Hunting. Hi. These are apricots, dried apricots. I made apricot butter, so I'm going to use some of it, but I do want to make pancakes and put this over them. I think it would be nice, and maybe waffles. But we need a whole cup of these, so we're going to be a bit busy chopping for a while, and I cannot put YouTube on pause. Thank you, Olga. Nani? Nani? I'm not sure how to say that word. Just warning all of you, my tongue for foreign languages does not go well, so if I pronounce your name wrong, please understand. It's hard. I tried to take 3 languages, and all my teachers just told me to zip it. In other words, don't try, Sandy. It's that bad. I said, okay. But my husband was really good at it. I love to listen to him. He could sit there when he was learning Arabic. I said, why are you writing backwards? He said, no, this is how they write it. I said, really? I learned a lot. My husband also spoke Vietnamese because he was in the Vietnam War. And our firstborn, when he was little, he had listened to his father use some Vietnamese words. And My husband was talking to somebody who had helped the American soldiers. He came over here, and Sean said the word which said, hurry up, get moving. I'm not sure of the word of what he said. And the guy said, I am not your prisoner. I started laughing. Oh, so can you say True Blood? Yes, True Blood is my favorite band. I don't know True Blood. I know the big band eras. I know harpsichord. I love harpsichord. I love church music. My mother, when she found out I liked the big bands, she told me I had to find my own groups that I liked. But I like the big band. She said, no, you got to find one from your time. And I didn't like them. But they played them everywhere I was at, so I know the songs. It's like I hate Nina Simone, right? She was trying to be a Billie Holiday, which was my husband's favorite. Like he said, his mother came first, Billie Holiday came second in his love, and I was his third. And I got resentful. I said, why are they ahead of me? He said, my mother gave me life, and I just loved Billie Holiday's music because Billie Holiday spoke a lot of truth for the time. And he said, am I first in your list? And I said, no. Well, who's ahead of me? I said, God, then Jesus, then you. So he said, see, I'm in third place too. You're talking about air conditioning hunting? Marie? Hi. I've almost got a cup, don't worry. Then we're going to have to get, I think, a cup of nuts. No, 2/3 of a cup of nuts. Well, I might put in a cup of nuts, knowing me. The more the merrier. Do. No, I don't know the band. I don't know a lot of the new bands. I like some of the Western songs that are coming out now. They're very, very nice. I didn't like them before because of the racism and all, and there was a lot of it going on in the South. My father kept me away from it as much as he could, and my mother. So I was allowed to grow. The first time I experienced racism was when my best girlfriend, who was Mexican, named Sandy, the councilmen came, and they threatened. And I only had one question for them. If you peeled Sandy and I, could you tell who's who? They got real quiet and they walked away. But they threatened Sandy's parents. I saw her in high school. She told me. They threatened. They came to the house, Sandy. That's why I quit being your friend. So I grew up at a racist time. But I couldn't understand racism. When you're close to God, racism doesn't exist. I just couldn't see it to just like somebody just because of the color of their skin. All right. We have a little more than a cup of apricots, but it's supposed to be a cup. All right, now we need 2/3 of a cup of nuts. You're leaving?
Yes, I am.
Okay. No, I don't remember you telling me, but that's okay. The house is mine. I'm alone. Ah! Except for my cats. Okay. Now, I'm not toasting these. Measure them out, Sandra, first, before you throw them on the cutting board. There's 1/3. No, I don't even remember the 80s. Donna, North Carolina. I bet your apricot butter is delicious. Well, we're going to find out. Oh, good, yeah. I don't face it like it was, which is people have learned. But I remember just being heartbroken because she and I did everything together, you know. And I didn't have a friend for a long time till Debbie walked into my life in 4th grade. Her father got stationed because of the oil rigs in Beeville, and she was in my 4th grade classes. She and I hit it off a lot. I mean, we were always together, talking and getting in trouble and everything else. But Debbie was my last close friend. Kathy Prosh was the one who got me in trouble all the time, who got me to crawl through a window in an empty house. The son came by, and he was a little loony. He liked to hurt little girls. We hid in the cabinet, and I prayed, and my mother beat the hell out of me. I could not sit down. I'm going to put the last of that in there. I mean, she really, I walked away with bruises and welts. But Kathy's mother said, now, don't go into vacant houses like that because that, and she got a talking to me. I frightened the heck out of my mother. I did not know. She was the one who said, Sandy, let's wear high heels at the movies. She said, here, stick it under your dress. I said, my mother will know. She said, you're just a coward. And I'm thinking, I got my tail whipped for you. I am not going to do it again, you know. Now, Linda Murphy, she was very quiet. She and I talked a lot. We played jacks all day long, you know. And just being little girls, and that was it. But Debbie Dickinson walked into my life. If any of you go to college and you take music, you probably know Debbie Dickinson. She's a teacher there. My son found her. But she was my close girlfriend for many, many years, about 5 or 6 years. The other ones were like every 2 years, the military, you know, the father got restationed and they had to move because we were a military town. And if we didn't have the military, we don't even think we'd have 10 students graduating high school because everybody was in the military. So I grew up in a time with racism, but I couldn't see it. I really couldn't. Anybody who told me I couldn't like somebody because of the color of the skin, it couldn't register. I told them, I see souls. I don't see people. I see souls. They didn't understand. And I couldn't explain it any other way except that they're human beings, you know. So because they couldn't get me to understand, they went after my friends. And I don't know how these are going to taste. It sure smells good. 53. I was born in 1953. So we need another bowl for liquids. Which is definitely going to be 2 eggs. Now I'm going to use sunflower oil. It's mild oil. I don't want a strong oil to take away from this. Hi Dash. Elevator. Why did you get the name at Elevator 8220? Question mark on my head. Okay, now listen, since we're changing this all around, let's see. We need 1/3 cup of oil. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to put that apple butter in that pot. If you want to have a nice disposition, vitamin C does that. That causes you to not be blue, as they say. Blue on blue. Oh, I'm so sad. 1/2 cup. Now, see, I'm going to change this recipe. We are taking 1/2 cup of apricot butter for what they want here. This is where I'm going to add this. I wish you could smell it because I'd say smell it. It really smells good. Yeah, 1953. Okay, I need a little spoon for this. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Oh. I might have to add more than a half a cup. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Because this is a little thicker than what they want. Maybe I should add a little more. Okay, well, we'll try it. This is our liquid ingredients. I can't wait to try these. I'm definitely going to have one as soon as they're done cooking. Well, at least 5 minutes. Let them set first. I can't wait to make pancakes with that. Just imagine. Okay, I know what to do now. Like I always say, when you're making muffins, you're not going to mix them all the way, so you need a fork. You can buy a cheap one if you want, but that's your cooking fork. If you have a set and it's missing pieces and you're going to get rid of it, hold one of the forks back for yourself. We're experimenting making apricot nut muffins. We don't know how it's going to come out, but we're going to try. And I've got dried apricots, I've got apricot butter in it, and I use 2 teaspoons of nutmeg, and we're going to see how this comes out. Now, if you see muffins that have white streaks in it, like the egg was not completely beat into it. Yeah, so, what did your father do? Elevator, I've got a very old home. It's because your eggs have not been beaten properly. You have to beat them so they're completely blended so you don't have that white streak running in. I've had muffins like that. Oh, my husband was 3rd Marine Division, Special Forces. Well, actually, Force Recon. But his brother was in communications. I think on a sub. No, he wasn't on a sub, but he was in communications. The other one was a Marine, a grunt, and that's what he was. He was up in the front all the time. But my husband was Special Forces, better known as Force Recon, the really nasty guys. I remember we were walking down the street and this guy bumped into him. He had been lifting weights. And he turned around and said, "You're lucky." I mean, he really carried on. "You're lucky. I could have hurt you." This is the guy who's been lifting weight. My husband just came from Vietnam. He's murdered people. And you're going to tell him? No, you would have been in a sorry state of affairs. Okay, now we're going to mix this. I am 72, and in about 5 weeks, I am going to be 73. I don't know if I have enough liquid in here because of the apricot. I might have to add more. We're going to find out soon enough. Oh, God, they smell so good. Just trying to get the last of the flour. Now you notice very closely, I'll bring it up so you can see it. You do not mix your muffin batter all the way. You see? If you do, they will collapse. You have to just mix them partially and then do it. Then they'll rise. And see, I like making different muffins because in the store, you can get blueberry, you can get bran, you can get simple ones. But boy, when you make them yourself, what you can't do. Like I said, I wanted to try making apple butter. It sounded like a good idea if you make apple butter. that tastes good. Okay. We're in for a treat. I hope all of you have your electricity and everything on. They said a lot of people lost electricity and stuff from this storm. I hope everybody was safe during it. My sons would not let me go out and shovel last night. With the wind and all, they said, no, Mommy, you are not. I said, no, I'm going out there. They said, no, you are not. We'll go out. I said, okay. So that today, I laid the salt about 8 o'clock last night, and I'm usually in bed by then. And they shoveled. God, that's really good. These are going to be good. Simply, thank you. If you want to know how something tastes, and if you got the flavors down, you can try a little dough. It won't kill you. But don't tell anybody else that. They'll probably sit there and say, oh, you'll die of this or that or something. I hate to tell them this, but people die every day. And we die. You know, only the body dies, so you shouldn't be panic out, you know. Oh, the dough is really nice. I think this came out really nice. Maybe I should try making double apple. Taking apple butter and fresh apples and putting that combination together and see what we can come up with. Apricot muffins. Yes, cubit. Yes, I do knit. Hi, Simply. Hi, Shane. No, I think I'll do that. I've got some apple butter. I'll buy a tart green apple. We'll toast pecans, because I like pecans with apples, and toast it. And we'll see what we can come up with. Might come out nice, for all we know. That'd be like a double apple. Maybe I should call this a double apricot. I don't know. I got to write down that other one I made, which is really, really good. That blueberry one, I have not written it down yet. I'm going to have to watch that video so I can remember what I put in it, because I don't remember what I put in it. This one I won't forget. The other one was more complicated, so I want to make sure. Okay. See, we weren't afraid to try the batter. And today they say, oh, you can't because it's got raw egg in it. Have you ever had a poached egg? Believe you me, they're raw. You know? At least the yolk is. You know? So sometimes I wonder where these people come from. We got so many food allergies, it's ridiculous. That tells us how unhealthy we are. I'm glad I don't. I just have chemicals, because I get around chemicals, I break out. Oh. I'm tasting this really good. My name is Sandy Elevator. Yes, I know how to make jeans. Jeans have like 2-3 seams because it's 3 3/4 denim. It's a special weave. A lot of people don't know that. Now, if you get blue jeans with elastic, they're not the original. Levi jeans, Wrangler, They used to, I think it was Levi that did the design. What it is most materials at this time before this was done is you had the threads going this way and this way. That was it. But they noticed that the cow hands, even though they wore the, oh, what do you call those things you tie up on your legs to keep your pants clean? The seats would still wear out because of the leather and the material wasn't thick enough. So what they did was Levi learned to make 3 3/4. What it is actually a special weave. Now I'm not sure, but I think I have this weave down. You have the material going here and here, but they also have it going at an angle, and it's weaved around each one individually, which gives it that extra strength that you're looking for. Now, if you're buying just blue jeans with elastic in, those are not the original ones. If you go to buy blue jeans, you should sit there, and when you go into a store, you tell them you want blue jeans 3 3/4, and they'll know exactly what you're talking about. If they don't know what you're talking about, they don't know their business, and they're going to sell you something you don't want. Chaps. Thank you, James. I was blank. I could not think of it. I kept on thinking of the Spurs, the cowboy boots, but I couldn't think of the chaps. Thank you. At least you knew what I was talking about. Thank you so much. So the blue jeans that I have on are Lee's. I think these are Lee's or Levi. I can't remember. But they had a patent for 50 years. Elevator. Okay, elevator. I know about blue jeans. I bought blue jeans because I couldn't find Levi or Lee's blue jeans, which really frustrated me. But they had a patent for 50 years, so that you could only get 3 3/4 denim for a long time. And now, because the patent has run out, you have all these other people making the blue jeans. But they don't make that weave of 3 3/4. So if you're going to buy blue jeans, I would recommend, I don't know about Wrangler, but I do know Levi's and Lee's. They're very, very good. They last an extremely long time, but they were actually made for the cowboys, so they didn't wear the material out on their seats. And it's a special one. Chef are the chef? No, I'm just a woman who cooks. I studied Julia Child. Then there was James Beard. The ARE was introducing nutrition and how to do things. And then what I walked into was Adele Davis. And from there, I've just been moving forward on everything. But my first teacher was Julia Child. My first job in the kitchen with my mother was learning how to grease pans properly, and I did not clock these. All right, let's say it's 2 minutes. So it'll be 16, 26, 36. You guys did not tell me. You guys are going to let me make mistakes around here? Yeah, about 20 minutes. I thought so. Okay, so 26, we'll pick them up at 36. That should be about the time, right? And I need my glasses. Why did I put them down? Because you guys are talking, I can't read. That print is so fine on a phone. So now you know about denim. Like I told you, I had to learn all these things. Like linen is a very fine material. Like when we made beds, we didn't have fitted sheets. Okay, elevator, you love elevators? Have fun on the elevators. We had to learn to make beds with, we didn't have fitted sheets. We had to learn how to corner them properly or they would fall apart. These are things that we have lost, all these skills. I haven't lost them. I still have them up here. But a lot of the young people don't have these skills anymore. Now, can I sit down and I'll chat with you for 20 minutes while we're waiting for these lovely muffins to finish? Because I am a bit tired. Let me put you over here so I can sit down for a while. After being out in that yard, driveway, sidewalk, I'm tired. Hi, Olga. Uh, uh, how do I pronounce this? Eugenica? Uh, okay, if you want to say that, I guess I'm all right. It was nice to have you back. Oh, out in the streets. Why? You live in the metropolitan area, Chef? It's Eugenia? Thank you. It's just that you have to put everything together and then I don't know where to break it up. Oh. Oh. Now my arms are really tired. I'm sorry. Oh. So where are you from, Eugenia? We have to wait. I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do. We're actually at the waiting point on these muffins, and I've got dishes on the drain board, and I've got stuff. I don't want to think about what I have to do. Okay. Yes. You know, there's like 5 boroughs. A lot of people don't smile anymore. That's true. I walk down the street and I'm sure people say, why is she so happy? Content, I guess, with my life that, I'm not old. I'm old and I'm not young anymore. Okay. Meghalaya, Northeast India. I have a friend in India. He wants to come here and he wants me to sponsor him. I said, I am not sponsoring you because I know what sponsoring means. I said, no, you can come on your own, but I'm not sponsoring anybody because that is teaching them how the government works, making sure they get a job, they learn the English language and all. I'm not into any of that. But he's been traveling in his country a lot. And I said, where are you going now? Heaven knows. Okay, 22. All right, we got 15 minutes. So if any of you want to leave for like 15 minutes, we should be pulling these muffins out in 15 minutes. Oh, I have to get up and do stuff, and I don't want to do it. I'm actually forcing myself to sit down. These are, I'm going to call them double apricot. They say a smile goes a long way. Sometimes a hug goes a long way. I'm from America, elevator. That's so funny to say elevator because I get a picture of an elevator talking. I'm hoping the batter, I tried the batter and the batter tastes really good. So I think these are going to come out really, really nice. Now, I know some people in Europe want to know the difference from a scone to a biscuit, so they want to learn how, so I'll do a recipe so they can see how biscuits are made and then they can judge the difference from a scone. Yeah, apricots are nice. I love fruit. It's really fruit and cheese and salads. Oh, and whole grain breads, I'm in heaven. Yeah, I like the fresh ones. I had an apricot tree I was trying to grow, and my neighbor, I asked him to prune a branch that was hanging over in my yard. Not only did he do that, he cut down my apricot tree because he pruned it. I said, no, it's alive. You got to wait till it goes to sleep. He didn't listen. 2 weeks later, it was boom. And I said, there goes my apricot tree. Oh, yeah. Cleo. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was a little upset around that. But anyway, what the heck? I'll just find another spot and buy another one and plant it and see. Because I like apricots, especially fresh apricots are really nice. Now, I think the apricot butter that I made, was it dry apricots or fresh? I can't remember. I'm not sure. Eugenia, I do a lot of baking on this. When I'm going to be doing once a month, I'm going to be doing some baking and some dishes. I'm going to start out simple because I have some people who just can't make biscuits or they can't make this or that. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have it under cook with me. I will give you a week's notice ahead of time to get all the ingredients and things that you need. And then you'll actually cook with me and we'll sit and talk while they're baking. And then we'll sit there and we'll see. You can tell me how they come out. And we'll see how it goes. All right? So we'll do that. So if you like baking or you want to learn, because baking is my skill, bread making is the top. I mean, that is really it with me. My mother said I came out of the chute making bread. Okay, so I'm thinking about starting that next month, maybe doing it only once or twice a month, because I have to set it up with things that I'm making. There is no such thing as an elevator community, okay? Hi, Christ. At Christ, I should say. Oh. So we're just waiting. Okay, we got about another 10 minutes, 10, 11 minutes, because you didn't tell me to clock it. But I know the batter's delicious. The nutmeg, you can't skimp on the nutmeg on that, or it won't come out with that full flavor that you need. No, I only write them if I have to go up in an elevator to a business or something. Nope, I'm retired. Please. All right. No. Why would you ask that? I was on elevator. I went on one elevator that was very, very fast at the Twin Towers before they came down. Man, I was holding on for dear life. Okay, I look forward to it, but I will let you know a week ahead of time, and then I will let you know on Eastern America's time when I'll start. All right? Okay. Do you like filming being on the elevators and what you can see, or do you like watching them go up, or are you in the elevator taking pictures? You're not answering the question, so I don't know. Sandy, your arms don't even want to reach up there anymore. I'm too tired. I had no room to reach up. I cannot believe that. Yeah, I asked, does he like the glass elevators where you can take pictures, and get the zoom in from the ground up, or do you like just riding them? Did he answer yet? What is the state that you were that I'm living in? New York. Okay, Donna. Sometimes too many people bring up questions, and sometimes you write something, I don't have time to read it. It just sort of goes. So we're going to call these a double apricot. Okay. No, don't put it here, Sandy. You need that for bread. Yes, I'm in one of the Metropolitan's elevator. Okay? I am in one of the Metropolitan. Remember, I am in the Metropolitan, but there's 5 boroughs. We have Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, and Staten Island. Oh God, I wish you could smell these. You would be shocked. They really smell good. You got 5 minutes. Remember, when I take them out, they have to sit 5 minutes. So the batter can set. We'll get the rack out so we can put them on so it doesn't burn the counter. Oh, I thought about these for a while. I didn't think about putting in dried apricots with the apricot butter, but then I said, no, that would go good. Then you could add the extra nutmeg in it. I'm not giving you that elevator. That's one thing they do not allow, to give you my address. If people wish to communicate with me, I give you, I told you, my my name. You can find me on Facebook, or if you wish, you want to show me a dish that you've made, you can sit there and put it on America's Home Cooking on YouTube. You know, so I do give you options, but no, they do not allow that information out. Elevator. Now, I made those chili lime muffins. What I want to do is take those and make scones out of them, see what happens. You have to admit, it sounds good. The muffins didn't even last 24 hours, so I know how good they are. But just imagine what we could do with that. So we're going to try making scones with those. I went and bought a package. Then they had another one. I said, oh, I got to try this one as well. You know, we're going to see what we can do. I mean, they didn't have a lot out there. I think I took the last 2 packages of the new one that they had. And I said, I got to try this. This looks too good. Like I found in the back of the refrigerator, it's been sitting there. You know, the dried peelings that you get. My Fair Lady guess, user. My Fair Lady, Gigi. Those are my top 2. Okay, I couldn't tell you what the next one is. I can tell you a cartoon that I love. I love Chip and Dale. Oh, please. Oh, thank you. Do you think we should get more? Why, yes, I'll go get the hose. Well, that's quite all right. Thank you very much. You know, I love Chip and Dale. Yeah, I'm putting all the dishes in the kitchen sink. Yeah, you can hear me. Now, I've got some behind and underneath you that have to go too, but I just don't have enough room. Okay. Sound like they might be done. Yep, they're done. You didn't tell me, but they're orange from the apricot. They rose, but they were heavy. I did put a lot in them, you know. All right, they have to sit 5 minutes now. That's all we have is 5 minutes, and I can try one of these, and I'll let you know how they are. Now, that's funny. If I use whole wheat flour, they'd rise hot. But it couldn't be because I had the fruits and nuts, and I did put a lot of fruit and nuts in it. It might have been a little on the heavy side, but that's okay. As long as they taste good, I don't have any complaints. Oh. Oh. They do look good. We just have to wait 5 minutes. They have to set before I can try them. What in the name of God did I get on this? What did I use this for? I can't even remember. What did I make this morning that I needed this? Oh, batter. No, elevator. I have not baked the cookies yet. I'm looking and deciding what kind of cookies I want to make. I'm in my book deciding. I haven't gotten that down yet. No, what it does is it sets the dough because it's still in the dough state, though it's done. That's why you have to let it sit. So when you break it open, it doesn't go back into a dough state. And when they're this hot, you have to pull them, hold them gently and pull them apart because if you squeeze them, they go back into the dough state. This is why you have to let them set. Oh, me too, but I have to wait, and you'll have to make them. Dun, dun, dun. I bet you my son did not take my CDs that he promised he was going to take. So I'm going to get rid of them. Okay, where are we now? Okay, it seems you guys are having fun. I know it's not 5 minutes. Let's see what we can do with this. I'm going to take a small one. This is a really, if I take a big one, I know I'm going to eat it. Yeah, they are moist. Not going to be disappointed. All right, they really taste like apricot. If you love apricots, this is your recipe. Here's the inside. See how I pull it apart? I don't squeeze it. I just hold it gently and pry it like that because it's that hot. Need a glass of milk with this. This worked out very, very nice. Holly, definitely. You gotta try this recipe. This one I'm gonna have to write down too. Yeah, sometimes I make recipes and I forget, so I have to write them down and put them in my book. They're not gonna rise as high as the other ones because we have a lot of nuts and fruit and stuff in it. These are well worth it. I'm not lying to you, they're really good. If you love apricots, you're in for a real treat. So we're gonna call these double apricot muffins. It's so apricot-y. Be careful. They might burn a little on top if you're not on top of them. They're very tasty, Chloe. I need a glass of milk with this. I gotta keep my hot little hands off that till tomorrow morning. Well, this recipe from me to you, may you make them and enjoy them immensely. Don't even think of using apricot preserves. It will take away from it. You need to make apricot butter. Because I have too much sugar in the apricot preserves, which will take away, because remember we added 2 sugars to this. Yes, I'm tempted to eat another and get a big glass of milk and enjoy myself. So, when I finish this, I'm going to have to go because I got to clean up. So make sure, I'm not going to be making apricot butter right now, but I will be sometime in the spring making it to prepare it for the following year. If you subscribe or join, you'll be aware of when I make it, and we can make it together, okay? There's some things that are sinful in life. These muffins are sinful. The preserves have too much sugar in it. And because they're using cornstarch in it, it's going to make your muffins tougher, more like candy on the outside. Have you ever noticed that? But when you make the apple butter, it's just apricots and sugar. It's just the ratio that you do when you cook it down. And then you can it. So I wouldn't recommend using any of apricot preserves. I would use the butter, because you're going to have to compensate, because we did put white sugar in it. And we did put light brown sugar in it, so the molasses wouldn't come through too strong if we sat there and used the dark brown. That's why we went to the light brown. So when you read your preserves, unless you're doing your own, you're going to see they put corn syrup in it and other stuff in it. That's not what you want, and you're not going to get the full apricot. Now, my apricot butter is 100% apricots. The dried apricots you saw me chop up there is 100% apricots. So you're going to get the full apricot flavor, okay? So, but I can't do apricots, aren't out right now, but they will about March. I should be able to start to seeing them into the store in around March. And I can't remember if it uses as dry. If they use dry, we can make it sooner, but I can't remember if they were fresh or were they dried apricots. I'll check on the recipe. If it's dried, we'll be making apricot preserves, and I'll show you preserves, apricot butter, and then you can make these muffins. Okay, so So if you make this and you use the preserves, I'm not going to guarantee it's going to taste the way these taste. So I'll check out on that apricot butter and see if it's made with fresh ones or if it's made with dry ones. And I guess I'll be doing some canning with you, and we'll end up making it, okay? Listen, I have to let you go now, but I want all of you to take care. And if you're shoveling, take it easy. Believe you me, I'm exhausted. I've already done it twice, and I'm afraid they're going to come with the truck again and push it back up on the sidewalk, and I'm going to be back out there again. So anyway, take care and enjoy the rest of the day. And if you have to shovel, go slow. Take your time. I don't want to hear somebody slipping out there, and I don't want to hear anybody having a heart attack from working. So don't, if you have to do it, go slow, go steady. All right, so all of you take care, and I guess I will see you tomorrow morning. What are we going to have tomorrow morning? I still want to have French toast, and I do have that apricot butter there to pour over it. I'm going there. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.